been grinding all morning. I've been grinding all evening. All season, I get though. Hit my plugger for a reason. I get though. Hit my plugger for the seasoning. I've been grinding all morning. I've been grinding all evening. I've been grinding all summer. I've been grinding all season. I get though. Hit my plugger for a reason. I get though. Hit my plugger for the seasoning. Hit the plug up, did them ghosts. Black diamonds all gold. Got me caught up in my mode. You the player, I'm the coach. Hey, told you should've run the zone. You the safest off the poach. I'm all about money, they say I ain't getting it. I look at them wrong, but I'm just getting every penny on God. Walk up in the spot, I'm him and you not. I'm just trying to put my town on. You just fake it, then I'm calling you bluff. Word around town, just hating, I'm taking flight, so I ain't relating. When I touch down, I am your baker. I'm still in judge, give me 20 like Peyton. I've been grinding all morning. I've been grinding all evening. I've been grinding all summer. I've been grinding all season. I get though. Hit my plugger for a reason. I get though. Hit my plugger for the seasoning. I've been grinding all morning. I've been grinding all evening. I've been grinding all summer. I've been grinding all season. I get though. Hit my plugger for a reason. I get though. Hit my plugger for the seasoning.
Plugger for the season. Only for reason. Little I'm cheesy. Pull up, Chuck E. Cheese. Lisa Leslie, how she stretch it. Pull up.
Yeah, constant circles running through my head. I can't believe all the lies I've been fed. Wondering, is it really you or me instead? Who's afraid to take the plunge and no longer be dead to these dreams? It seems I can't get you out my head, but the stronger you resist, the more I want you in my bed. You see, to me, you're such an inspiration. I can feel you from afar, breaks my concentration. Every word that you speak, yo, I be relating. I don't know how to get to you, but I stay waiting. In my heart, yeah, it beats for you, it's penetrating. Then it stops at the thought of you of not staying. I'm saying, you got me open, I'm wounded. Wanting your attention, your intentions not congruent. I blew it, and I can't even laugh it off. I just let my heart bleed after all. Someone please call 911. Tell them I have been shot down. In my heart, it's kissing through my soul. Feel my body getting cold. Cold, this world so cold. I feel so cold. I lose control of thought. Imagining best for me can only come with good thoughts. Good intentions I may set. Every door closes an asset. My fears need to lay the rest bet. I believe I will see what's coming to me. If I intimidate, then you don't really know me. So show me what this is. Why I gotta lose my sleep over this? Why I gotta add you to this damn list? Why you gotta show up then you resist? Huh? I know there's really a purpose. Life has a way of making things work on purpose. Even though my heart really feels a little nervous, I'll just keep my head up until I reach the surface. Someone please call 911. Tell them I have been shot down.
know what you've been through. You know the sacrifices that you made to get where you need to be at. You know that you're growing every day. You know that we're proud of you. You know that every single time you fall down, God smiles upon you and rise back up. So here it goes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing accusations.
Right.
Tell me what's the reason.
Schnozberry, guys. Schnozberry. Schnoz from Temple Farm. We're excited. This is love Temple Farm. All right. Tell me when we're ready to go on that one. So everyone, we want to get this we really encourage people to watch Facebook. Tomorrow will be on YouTube and WeedTube, so that's really where we want to look for the most part.
Right.
Yeah. Hi everyone, Amanda Munchies here, and we are live for season 2. I believe we're on episode 9. Super excited. We have sponsors, Hempel Farms, gave us some amazing treats tonight. We have a Schnozberry CBD pen we're going to check out today. I'm probably super shaky. We have some gelato crystallate. I'm super excited. So CBD, so we can use this during break with our dab pen. Nice. And then, I don't know if anyone has seen this, but this is some beautiful rosin from the Zonka Grow, and it just looks absolutely amazing and delicious. So we're going to get down on this during break for sure. And we may need some of that Undoo when we do. So
let's hope.
We're going to test it out. We'll talk more about that. So today we have a full house. I'm super excited to have amazing guests here. So we have Mr. Jimmy Carberry, a.k.a. Glaucoma Jim, a.k.a. Jimmy Joints, right?
On Facebook.
A.k.a. No, I'm just kidding. He's got so many.
How many more do you have?
So many aliases
I can't
over
talk
there.
about it.
And you are, we're knocking all kinds of things over. And you are a 30-year glaucoma patient, correct?
Correct.
You are a cannabis advocate and an educator, right? You've been in this industry for more than 30 years, so inventor and patent holder of Undoo soft gels, right?
Correct.
I'm reading a little bit. There's a lot. I want to make sure I get it right.
Oh,
You've also created the first really medical-style dispensaries to serve the patients and address their true medical needs. Is this correct?
That's correct.
Ooh, we'll have to talk some more about that. And also, Undoo has been featured on Phoenix New Times, Cannabis News, Phoenix Cannabis Magazine, Dope Magazine. We have Edibles List Magazine, HQ Magazine, Pineapple Magazine. We are not even done with this list. And they brought the proof behind the pudding, which is people talking about using Undoo. So super exciting. So this is just amazing. So you said Sensi is another one, Elevated Nevada, and there may be more I'm missing, but quite a record there. So tell us a little bit about who you are, where do we find you on Instagram, and kind of how did you break into the cannabis industry, and then we'll kind of introduce all our guests, and then we'll really dive into all the good stuff. And while you're chatting, we'll smoke on this Schnozberry. We'll puff.
Ooh, let's all say that together. Schnozberry. That's as a carberry. That sounds pretty good.
Right? So excited, by the way. So excited about this one.
Well, let's see. My family has glaucoma. Glaucoma runs in my family. Okay. So I'm used to blind people being in the household. You know, my grandparents.
You would get along great with Yazzie.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's really interesting when your uncles and your grandparents are all blind. It's like you learn to appreciate a lot of different things.
For sure.
Okay, and you learn to appreciate what really people can really do, which is amazing. They get around there. You can't say handicap. Even their disability is a wrong word. It's just like they have other talents that go around that. So, I'm blessed because I got some of those I have the best nose in the world. I really have
You're shrinking. I'm thinking Alex is shrinking.
Okay.
She ate
wow. Did you do some Undoo already?
That's what happens after you undo, guys.
What did we smoke? What did we smoke?
I'm sorry. Basically, I was diagnosed, a little over 30 years ago, and they gave me 2 years to see.
Wow.
And they also gave me eye drops. Go home and try these. And I almost died. Eye drop in each side. It's anaphylactic shock. I couldn't breathe for 5 hours. I was laying on the floor. I couldn't yell for help. It was a nightmare. So I had to figure out something else to do. And so I was lucky enough to go to the first National Normal Conference in San Francisco. And I had some friends there, and I got to meet Robert Randall, the first cannabis patient of the United States. Wow. He sued the government in '74 because he had glaucoma. And it's the only thing that lowered his IOP, interocular pressure. It's just like me. I'll tell you what I did, and then it was very telling how good it worked. So doing research, I had done, in college, I researched cannabis a lot. I had no direct.
We're all cannabis researchers.
I couldn't say it was my major, but
I think it was mine.
At least your minor.
Yeah, right. Well, absolutely.
Extracurricular activity.
Yeah. And so when I started it, I was a photographer. I opened up photo labs, Moto Photo. So if you bought a franchise, I would teach you how to do that. And then I got diagnosed.
I remember those.
Yeah, remember you probably.
I remember that.
Yeah, well, if you watch the '70s show, okay, Tommy Chong worked in one. So that's the deal. So yeah, you kids don't know. I learned that cannabis lowers your interocular pressure. And so I went to a specialist, a glaucoma specialist here in the Valley, and I went in, got my pressures, which were very high. It was like almost blindness, 40, 41. That's really, and let me explain what glaucoma
So they're
is.
testing, by the way. What you're
Yeah.
talking about is test results where they're actually testing the pressure, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I get the test. I run out to the parking lot. A friend had given me some swag. It was swag. It was like
Meaning brown, dirty
yeah, it
stuff,
was not.
right?
Yeah, with seeds and sticks and cat litter or whatever. And so I did 5 hits on a little pipe that he gave me, and then went back in. And about 20 minutes, the nurse goes, "What are you doing?" I'm waiting for my pressures. So she took me in again. So I had my high pressure paper, which I folded up, put in my pocket, and then I walked in and it was cut in half.
Wow. From
My
the
precious,
swag.
yeah, in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So I go in with the doctor. I go, "Here's the 2 tests," and he's like, "What?" I went out in the parking lot in between and I smoked a little cannabis. I called it pot at the time. And
We didn't know.
yeah, it's like he's like, "Get out of my office."
Wow.
And I go, "Shame on you." I'm serious. I was hurt by his reaction. I was like, wouldn't you want to know that this can save those people that are sitting out there that are going blind or
Right.
are blind already?
Right.
Don't you think that would help? And he's like, "Get out of my office." So I became Glaucoma Jim that day. Because I would go around, I went around with Jack Herrera and the whole crew, and I did my speeches, and I told everybody I would be blind without cannabis.
Wow. So really part of the founding, of cannabis becoming legal and educating people from the get-go. So on behalf of those still early in this education game, thank you for being in it so long.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you've been using cannabis this whole time for glaucoma. Do you use it for other things also?
Well, no, I'm 63 years old, and I have a body of a 19-year-old. No, I'm kidding. And it's all cannabis. It's like, yeah. Gee, Jimmy, how do you stay so young? So basically, I take care of my glaucoma. I went a span where I couldn't smoke because I got in trouble, and that's another whole story. But that's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know if you'll let us dive into that. At some
Oh
point,
yeah,
but,
no problem.
Maybe we can.
It's the statute of limitations is up.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, before we get into that some more,
No,
let's continue to interrupt our amazing guests. So again, I'm gonna read a little. I hope that's okay. Sarara, you are a consultant, a caregiver, a medical marijuana patient. You educate people and groups on medical marijuana as medicine, correct?
Yes.
You are sought after by medical professionals, patients, and industry leaders seeking your diverse knowledge in cannabis and applications of the medicine. And so you definitely play a big role in the cannabis industry, especially here in Arizona as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. And this also, my birdie that helps me with my information also lets us know, hopefully it's okay for us to divulge this, but you are a cancer survivor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of cancer did you have, may we ask?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
I had breast cancer.
Wow. Is that why you originally started medicating, or?
Well,
Can
I
you tell us
originally
more?
started doing research in high school.
I love how we're calling it research today. Yes.
Everybody should call it
Yes,
that,
I
okay?
agree.
Because that's what it is.
And we're all medicating,
Yeah,
which is also the other thing. I mean,
Yep.
we all are medicating. So.
Absolutely, knowing it or not.
Yes.
And I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I got the advice from the physicians that I was supposed to do chemo to shrink this huge tumor. It was attached to my chest wall and my skin, and they couldn't even stage it because it was 5 centimeters and it was just a big mess. They said it was, they had to do all these terrible things. I'd have to do chemo, radiation, mastectomy. Oh, well, maybe we'll take them both just, because.
Just to be safe, right?
Yeah, right. And then rebuild and 5 years of tamoxifen, and I said, thank you for your advice. I am going to do this a little differently. And I healed with a naturopath and a homeopath and vitamin C IVs and change of diet, no sugar,
Wow.
no processed food,
Wow.
lots and lots of veggies,
Wow.
no dairy. I mean, it was very, very completely clean eating. It chelated, and I did the spiritual work, the forgiveness work, and shrank it month by month until after about 5 months it was small enough that it was no longer attached to the skin or the chest, and they took out a tumor.
Wow.
It had gone from 5 centimeters to 2. Pulled out the tumor, and that was the last I ever saw of it.
Can I high five this? Can we high five? That sounds like a high five. Like, way to go. And I think there's so many people out there that are also maybe a little bit afraid, especially, obviously when you get any type of diagnosis like that, that's extremely scary and you don't know where to turn. And for people who have never researched cannabis to consider going that route could be really, really scary. And I think it's
Absolutely.
important for people to start hearing these stories of people who do use it. So
That's right.
it's amazing.
And it was 2012, so in our state, that was when it had just become legal. And we didn't at the time have access to the concentrates, and there was very little known about cannabis as medicine in Arizona. I mean, California was well on the way, and Colorado, but here in Arizona, it really wasn't an option to get a lot of help. So I used it most predominantly for the spiritual side of things.
Wow.
And
Did you travel at all, or did you stay here? Like, did you to get access to it? Because some patients. Can I ask that? Sorry.
You
No.
can ask anything.
Sorry, I'm like, can I ask?
Why?
Because I think too, like some patients are afraid
Yeah.
to travel or do different things that they need to. So.
As a 30-year person who's have to deal with this, I took medicine everywhere I went, everywhere. And I smoked it everywhere I could and would. It's always important that, which is more important, my vision or just because you think you don't know why I'm smoking pot.
Right.
I'm not a hippie. I'm not anything like that. So what I would do is I would smoke. If people came up to me, I would go, "It's my medicine. I'll go blind without it." And that's all I would say. And then they would go, "Huh? It's my medicine. I will go blind without it." And okay, I got an FBI file on me. Okay,
Just
and,
one?
And well, it's really thick.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a.
Are you
and,
in there? Do you have one
no,
too?
no, she does. No, this is
I
before
might,
I.
but it wouldn't
Well,
be the same.
no,
things.
no. This is before I met her. But it's in my file. It says I never said anything but medicine when I was referring to cannabis.
Yeah.
In my file, it's like you know. So that's how I believe that. And when you tell people that, it's like it's saving my life, my vision, my everything.
Right.
And it could save yours too. You know.
And we don't know. I think there's just so much lack of conversation about it, and even people are afraid to have these conversations, and especially
absolutely.
some of the people who need it most, which is why I really think it's important on this show. Our guests talk about what they have and why they have, you know, and why they medicate and how they medicate so that people can learn. And so I'm going to look to my left and introduce another guest that we have here. So we have Miss Parisa with Women Grow Phoenix. So Women Grow Phoenix is an extension of Women Grow, which started a few years back with some amazing women that didn't want to just be known as kind of moms that were tokers, right? And so how did you bring it to the Valley? And tell us a little bit about you as a canna-mom and your amazing daughter, Yazzie, if you don't mind sharing with the world.
Of course. So I was first connected with Women Grow back when Sarah Gullickson was our market leader, and she was hosting events in Scottsdale. And I was lucky to connect with Marvina Thomas, and her and I just hit it off, and she applied to be a market leader and asked for my help. And together we, for 2 years, have successfully ran the Phoenix market, and I actually later became co-market leader. But now we're on to a new transition. Both of us have taken positions with leadership, and so we're actually on we're working with Women Grow headquarters.
Very
And
exciting,
so, yeah.
especially for Phoenix and the
Excellent.
Phoenix cannabis
Absolutely, because
community.
now we're welcoming a new market leader who's going to be Susan Wong.
Yeah.
And we're really
Exciting.
excited about having Susan. She's amazing, and I'm really
Yeah.
excited about being able to bring new market leaders to various locations, not just Phoenix, but be able to kind of duplicate what we did in Phoenix, keep that energy, and share that amongst all these women and various areas. Like this month, we're going to Puerto Rico, and so we'll be in San Juan on the 21st. So if you have anybody in San Juan, let them know to come out and see Women Grow.
So
We're
exciting.
gonna have a pop-up, yes. So
Super exciting.
and then we're gonna be back in Atlanta again next month for another pop-up.
Okay.
And we've got Tucson and LA and Albuquerque on the map as
So
well
exciting.
coming up. So, and then we've got a leadership summit, which is like the giant Women
I
Grow.
saw that coming up. I'm
Yes.
excited. That's
So-
in June, or right?
June 6th and 7th.
Super exciting.
It's going to be in DC this year. So we're actually taking it to the East Coast, which is a change. And we're going to, we're going to shake things up a bit. It's going to be really exciting this year. I really think everybody's got to attend.
We need to bring some of the Phoenix cannabis community out there and show them what we're doing
for
here. So
sure.
maybe we can plan something, and maybe our cannabis community can really rally together and go out there and show some unity as well and support for you.
Absolutely.
Because that
That's
would
our
be
We can do
capital,
a group
so-
trip and
I-
like
that'd
30
be
of us
amazing.
Yes.
all get on the same plane.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Where's my vape pen? Who's got my vape pen?
I know.
Yeah, we'll rent a
Who's got my
ginormous
edibles?
mansion.
Yes. We're coming, DC. We're coming.
Yes, DC, you hear that? I'm bringing all of Arizona with me, honey.
Super
Let's all go.
Ah.
Really, let's make
Actually,
it happen
the
like
chickens
that.
are on on sale right now. There's an early bird sale.
Okay.
So now is the time, because after 420, they're going to increase by like an extra $100.
Okay.
It's a 2-day seminar, so you really get your money's worth.
Super.
There's going to be all kinds of perks, and everybody gets a swag bag, of course, that's packed with amazingness. So
Plus the education that you get and the ability to connect with people and learn from people in this industry, and even outside of Arizona. So there's so much knowledge and education here, but there's also so much to be learned from the other states and the other places that are doing this. And we all really need to start cross-communicating to start learning from each other where we're not doing it. And so I think it would be really cool to see if we can get even a small group, if, you know, not a large group.
Yeah,
I definitely think
Let's go out there.
Yeah.
Private jet? Private jet?
Let's do that.
I'm not rich yet.
Everybody has one.
Well, just to give one more plug on the Women Grow Leadership, I've gone every year since the beginning.
wow.
And I was also at the first Women Grow meeting in Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah,
Go
so
girls.
I mean, I love Women Grow. I love me some Women Grow.
And it's not just, women.
So cute. I love it. Say that one more time, Sarara.
I love me some Women Grow.
Love her.
And it's not just women, so I think that's the other thing is that
That's right.
Women Grow encompasses women and men. It's very much a networking place. You can meet other people in the industry. So you guys have done a great job of pulling people together. I'm sure your events, I think the numbers are over 300, right? I know half the time I don't
We
even see the
had
people I know there.
400 people at our Sex and Cannabis last month.
So exciting,
So
yes.
It's just blowing up, and
And Marvina was so brave and ballsy up there.
my
She was
gosh.
ballsy.
I don't think my face hurt so much. Like I was laughing, and my cheeks were sore.
She was
so
funny. Yes, she was.
She
so
is
bringing comedy to cannabis. I love
right.
it. So
She was doing some Kush karaoke on the 420 Ultimate Bus Tours recently for her birthday. That was really
we
fun.
need to get that on video,
Marvina
Marvina.
is really entertaining. Yeah.
So you are also a cannabis, an entrepreneur, so a cannapreneur. And then just to talk a little bit more about how this kind of impacts you personally, you use cannabis, but you also are a canna-mom, right?
Yeah. So my daughter, Yazzie, her life depends really on cannabis. 4 years ago, she had a spinal fusion surgery and was prescribed opiates. And those opiates attributed to her getting a rare life-threatening condition. Yazzie right now eats from a surgical tube that's been placed in her stomach and has a diagnosis of gastroparesis, which just basically means the stomach is paralyzed. And so she experiences chronic pain and nausea, abdominal pain and nausea, and obviously back pain post-surgery because they put 9 metal rods in her back. And so my poor little girl, she's gone through so much. On top of that, she was born blind and with cerebral palsy. So Yazzie is just a true warrior and champion. And I always encourage her to use her voice because so many kids like her aren't able to verbalize or vocalize how they're feeling. And I said, it's so lucky that she does have a voice, that she can use it and tell people how amazing cannabis helps her through the day and helps subside the nausea and helps her kind of function more normally, even though she's kind of bedridden right now. At least she's not like dry heaving or crying. She's in really good spirits. And so that's the beauty of cannabis.
Yes. So if you don't mind us asking, can I ask how old Yazzie is? Do you mind sharing with that?
Yazzie is going to be turning 18 at the end of the month. I can't believe it. I have a soon-to-be 18-year-old. That makes me feel really old. Like I have an adult child.
You look 21 still. We're good. You're good. You're good.
Yazzie's like, how late are you going to be out tonight? She is like my mom. It's funny.
That's how they get to be when they're that age. That's so funny. And then as far as you said using it, can you tell us a little bit about how you medicate, if you don't mind?
Sure. You know, being a parent of a child with a chronic illness and special needs, I've experienced my own trauma and have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and have like various triggers or things, you know, that have happened throughout our lives. like near-death experiences with Yazzie, and so I was on the edge of a nervous breakdown, I guess, and so they prescribed me Xanax, and
Gross.
it wasn't good, and I felt like I was dependent on it, and I couldn't sleep without it, and I always needed it, and and the more I saw Yazzie have this amazing turnaround, I'm like, why can't I use cannabis too as like a true medicine? And so, although I had always used it as a college student, like many of us, researched it in college as well. But I hadn't really understood it like medicine, really. I always thought it was fun, and it made me feel better. But I always had guilt associated with that, so I didn't think moms or
Our wonderful
professionals
stigmas.
should be using cannabis. So I thought I have to use pills. Anyways, fast forward to Yazzie's amazing experience with cannabis. It really inspired me. So I got my card and just started to be a loud advocate for other parents that, have special needs children. Like, you don't have to be all pilled out or, drinking wine every night. I know I have done that to cope in the past too.
Yeah.
And so now I have a much safer way to do it, and one that's actually good for my health.
For sure.
It helps me in a lot of ways, not
sure.
just handling the anxiety. So
Yes.
yeah,
Do all of you use CBD and THC? Or
absolutely. I mega dose on CBD.
Whole plant.
the whole plant?
The whole plant.
Yes.
200 milligrams of CBD a day for sure.
Wow.
I
Up
love
to
CBD.
300.
Yeah, up to 300. Okay. Well,
That's
Jay
the
makes
normal
these
amount that
200
everyone should be doing
milligram
is 300, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So
Yes.
the
That's the
only
minimum
a little.
therapeutic dose is 300 milligrams.
300. Wow, this is really good.
and that should be
stuff,
like every
guys.
day to get us even back to balanced, right?
If you need that.
Okay.
If you need that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we also have in the house.
I've
was
been so fixated on all your stories.
Yeah. So we have Miss Alisha with Blissful Family Botanical, and she is our CBD house advocate slash owner of Blissful Family Botanicals, which is education on CBD. Also honors the Bud card.
Yes.
She's also a big supporter of the Bud Show, and hopefully going to be helping out behind the scenes here soon. So tell us real quick, if you don't mind, how did you get into using cannabis?
Well, I actually have only been researching cannabis the last 4 years. In fact,
You didn't research in high school? What is
I
wrong with you,
didn't.
girlfriend?
I did not.
We were not friends. We were not friends. I did not know you.
Very unique story. Not unique, but it's a fun story. But no, I'm a stressed but blessed mom of 5. So my oldest is 20. I had her in high school, so I felt obviously weed and everything else, and it was a drug, and I was a mom, and I was a mom at 15. So, I was pregnant at 15 and had a baby at 16. So I had a lot.
You were doing that
already.
stuff, and you thought weed was bad.
Right,
Just saying, maybe you should have been smoking the weed.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you should have been researching the weed, the cannabis.
Just researching something.
Just saying, you were researching the D. You should have been researching the P, or the C, or the T, but certainly not the D. Woo! Parents, teach your children, research the other letters, not the D. All right, so do tell. I'm only teasing.
You're hilarious.
Pillow
So
talk.
I didn't have that. I didn't feel. I went straight into mom mode at 16, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I
had
grew
to.
up. Yeah.
So you went basically from 16 to 35.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So still graduated high school with a baby.
Good job.
Yay,
all
good for
that.
you.
Thank
Very
you.
job. Good
Went
job.
on to school. But it wasn't until I had my babies. My babies are twins. They're just turned 4. That I got really, really sick. Just had constant IBS issues, stomach issues. On top of that, I had horrendous postpartum depression. And I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. And one of the reasons why I turn to cannabis eventually, but I actually got put on almost everything you could possibly, because I'm a mom of 5, and why would they want to chance at all for me to go off the deep end and do something horrendous? So it was so much easier to drown me in drugs with 4 to 5 pills a day, whether it was like a combination of like Wellbutrin, and that was like 2 times a day.
Couldn't they have told you, I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but like couldn't our medical doctors tell you to like meditate 3 times a day, take a puff off some THC or CBD, meditate some more? Like what the fuck is our professional industry doing? I'm sorry. This is,
and those were just the long terms. That wasn't even the fast actors that I was supposed to take when things went awry, when the milk spelt or whatever it was, and mom has finally lost it. I was supposed to pop a few clonazepam, and then whatever I would else, and then there was that nighttime crutch of the wine, or whatever it was. So it was a bad combination for me about 4 years ago, and I had totally demonized my dad for being a cannabis user. But of course I was very young. I believed in D.A.R.E. Officer Dan was very influential. And I believed that cannabis was a drug. And then I, again, went into high school and I had a baby. So I just never got an opportunity to look at it any other way besides bad, 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 negative, negative, negative. My father and his cannabis use, I looked at in a negative way. I didn't realize he was medicating because of his past traumatic issues and his pain and his things. I just looked at it as there's a drug that my dad's using in the backyard, and oh God, let's not get caught, and because it's terrifying when you realize this is illegal. This is a drug. And he's out there doing it. And my brother are all in here. My mom, we could go, when you are young and you think this is, and your mom and your dad are just sitting there like, it's fine, it's just weed, and here I am as a very impressionable child, thinking this is horrendous. So 4 years ago is when I started researching cannabis, but it wasn't only, I had to call the one person I probably talked shit about the most, which was my dad. And I was like, Dad, I am on so many things, I can't do it anymore, I'm done. Can you get me high? Can I get a joint or something? What do I do? And he drove from Scottsdale. I live right by Chandler Mall. He drove from Scottsdale and was at my house in 20 minutes. And I got high for the first time with my dad 4 years ago.
Good.
Good
for you, Dad.
So that was a whole different take. Once that day happened, I have a little pen. I was smoking on Jack Herrera. He brought me an eighth.
Everybody.
I
Holy
love
cow.
Jack. I read. Yeah, I'm a fan of Jack. Yeah, he's an inspiration to me.
I got some good stories about that.
I bet you. Well, when you said that, I was like, I just got, I just added to my Amazon list. The Emperor wears no shoes,
no clothes,
no clothes. That's it. Yeah, and I was
great.
like, that's my next read. So I'm super excited about that. But so I have my daughter, Amalia. She was diagnosed with ADHD and then a late autism diagnosis, which is kind of rare. But I also was trying to avoid putting her through everything that we eventually went through, which was the medication, the diagnoses, the labels, the autism, the IEPs, the more trying to put the pills in her nose, the sprays now. There's all kinds of different things you can give kids for anxiety, depression, and now ADHD. So I started researching this CBD stuff, right? I already was getting high with my dad, and I started researching CBD, and I was like, I realize it's part of cannabis, but it's not going to get her high. I'm just not going to tell anybody, and I'm going to buy this stuff online. It's called Charlotte's Web, and I hear about this. I watched all these videos. All right, I'm going to do it. So I saw an improvement within a week. I saw brain transactions happening in her brain. She was like laughing at jokes and being sarcastic, which is something autistic kids don't do. They don't get jokes. They don't make jokes. They don't understand them. Throwing off her routine in any way, shape, or form would send her in a complete meltdown. And not just like any more emotional. It was getting, as she got older, physical. So it was like, what do we do with
Yeah.
this
How old
kid?
is
She just turned 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
CBD every day, right?
We are on. So we started
How
CBD
much
every day.
CBD do you give her every day?
She's at probably 200 milligrams a day.
Okay.
So that is a good dose. See, people aren't taking enough.
No.
Yeah, no, 300 is, I just read the study, is the
Where did you
minimum
read that study? I'd
on
love to read
PubMed.
it. What is it?
PubMed.
PubMed?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's,
write that down.
yeah,
You're
it's,
gonna love PubMed.
just,
Yeah?
you know,
That's
just
real
Google
information.
minimum amount
Yeah.
of therapeutic, of CBD.
Yeah.
Therapeutic.
And this isn't the first time I heard
What's
that
the
either.
max? Like, I always want to know what I'm maxing out
Well,
at. Like, what's
if
the
you,
bio-
okay,
Wait, can I
here's
just
how you,
say,
yeah, go
this
ahead.
guy that I met, his name is Jimmy Joints. He
Yeah.
told me that the worst thing that happens if you take too much CBD.
Go ahead, say it.
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
He said you'll have diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I
nothing
don't wanna
bad.
have diarrhea.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's the
that's-
worst
that's
that
the-
would
Figure it
happen.
out.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's
for
how
my
you know what the
life.
maximum
And it
is.
I
would
guess
be
that's
a lot,
fine.
right? And you said you'd have to do quite a bit.
yeah,
and you'd have to do quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know how to spell diarrhea? D-I-2 farts and a splash? I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there, but
Make sure you take
can
that
cut
from
that
home
out.
to your kiddos.
You
We
can
don't cut out anything.
Oh, excellent. Then.
Oh, we're a live show.
Okay,
Jimmy
now
Joints.
everybody's
What was that
laughing.
place called again?
It's a very
the
old.
name of the
Pub.
I love it.
PubMed. Yeah.
No, you got to watch the episode over. All right, so you use it for your family. I also use it with my goddaughter who has epilepsy and some anxiety issues, and I use it. And CBD is amazing. You have a plethora of different products that you use that hopefully one day we'll have you bring and show everybody
Yes,
again, because you
yes.
have quite an array of spread of things, right, with different companies that you work with, so that people can try different things. What you do is kind of unique in the sense that you go into people's homes and show them the different products and stuff that are out there and let them. Oh yeah.
Tell us
Yes.
more about that.
Oh, you should have her come to your home and show you. She's got some
No, I
honeys and some
follow
amazing.
her just so I can get inspiration on her in-home nurses and her struggle with your nurses and cannabis-friendly nurses and all that. I just think that's stupid and silly that you.
Well,
even
we need to
have
be
do
creating
that.
those networks too, though. Like, I think as a community, we need to start creating networks
Okay.
of cannabis-friendly nurses.
I would
and
like to
cannabis-friendly
get-
doctors.
How about a
People want to know.
cannabis
There are a
patients union?
Ooh, what is that?
Really?
What
I
is
know
it exactly?
that's what we should start, because I think it would be a very important thing, and it goes across the spectrum. So I mean, from the little old ladies to the young kids, that need it for autism, etc. I mean, that to me, and then this way,
And what about moms? Moms is a new topic too, and a
That's
lot of
right.
people don't want to talk about it. We're
Yeah.
going to be talking about it here on the Bud Show in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and
moms.
It's something we got to talk about, and
Exactly.
pregnant moms that have already
Yes,
had
very
babies.
important.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean, is it better for a pregnant mom to do a bong hit, or I mean, not a bong hit after what you told me about bong hits, but smoke a little bit of cannabis, or research a little bit of cannabis, or take half the other crazy stuff out there that they put moms on?
I have a real good
Like,
Well, we have
crazy.
our opinions.
pregnant lady story, really bad. She was in the hospital because she couldn't keep anything down for 2 weeks. And her
So at
husband.
this point, the baby is in danger.
Okay, yeah, right. And so her husband comes to me and he's like, "What do I do?" And it's like, there you go.
Right.
He stole her down to the parking lot, smoked the joint. She ran back up, ate dinner, and was released the next day.
Yeah.
That was it. She was not, and it didn't hurt the baby. The baby is wonderful.
Of
I mean,
course.
okay,
I know so many.
Yeah.
I know so many babies
Well,
who are just
okay, Egyptian.
just fine.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's many baby researchers, and so Egyptians
I
used.
just got that. I'm a little
Yeah,
slow.
you got that.
Baby researchers.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my god, I can't.
Oh, that's good.
And we haven't
Our
even
research
broken out
team.
this stuff.
Yeah, there we go.
No.
We're almost to break. We're almost to break.
So, but the Egyptians gave it to women in labor so that they would.
Relax
Yes,
and,
That's right.
yeah.
and gently push the baby
Absolutely.
out instead of ripping themselves open and doing horrific things that women do.
That's right.
Stop, please.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great, does it?
No,
I
yeah,
didn't
I
have
don't.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
So
that was incredible.
I've been there, seen that.
Wow. It's, you know,
Yeah.
we just live in such a crazy world where this medicine has totally been demonized in such a
And
way.
stolen from us.
Yeah, and it's crazy how it's a plant. It's good for old. It's good for young. It's good for people. It's good,
Good
for
for
dogs,
animals,
cats,
that's right.
horses.
You sound like my
can
daughter right
name
now,
it.
my 5-year-old.
Well, bring her on the show. It's past her
Ariana.
bedtime where we was. Yeah, I mean,
like,
I
it's
just
good for grandmas and grandpas.
yes, and we just need to educate because the
Sisters.
stigma is still there. So much. There's so much stigma from whether it was from D.A.R.E classes or just culture and society and what's been said before, or just straight up not knowing because so many people just don't know. So how do
And
we have
there's
those
so much
conversations?
false information
Yes.
out there.
Yes.
Honestly, you Google anything about cannabis, I mean, you can find tons of negative stuff. So
But
I
we're
also
just gonna have to overpower it with the
love
positive.
people that do
That's
CBD.
what's
So they've never done THC. I feel like this is a thing that I hear all the time lately. So people who they don't want to get high. So they say they try CBD, and then they say it didn't do anything. And I say, so were you looking for it to get you high, and you're now mad that it didn't get you high?
Right.
Because like you don't take vitamin C once and be like, oh yeah, I took vitamin C. Like, it doesn't work that way.
I feel the sunshine.
It doesn't happen like that, you know? And so even with CBD, that's something you have to take more than one time. It's something you might have to try different types of
Accumulate.
And
CBD.
different
Yes.
doses.
Yes.
Like they're
Titration
probably not
builds up.
taking
Yes.
enough.
Did you know that there's some
Products.
people that actually convert it to THC and get high off of it? Their
we didn't
liver
know
does
that.
it. Their liver triggers it.
Oh wow. That's
We need these
amazing.
articles.
Wow.
No.
Can you trade your liver to get that one?
No, I wish.
I want that liver in.
Like, whoa.
So how do we know if we have this liver?
Yeah.
How do you get one of those?
Yeah.
Liver
I think Amazon.
They're gonna go up on the black market.
You want the
lot of
one
those
with the
livers.
CBD in it.
Do you want to see the liver?
So before we go to break, when we come back, we're going to kind of get in a little bit nitty gritty. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you guys are really focusing on and kind of what your mission is
All right,
as
good.
Undoo. We're going to
Cool.
get into it, I swear.
Oh, yeah, why
We're going to
not?
get into Women Grow and what the event Wednesday, usually it's Tuesday, right? So
days away,
Wednesday this week is about. So you're going to tell us a little bit about that. Super exciting. We're going to smoke on some of this rosin when we go to the back for break. So I hope everyone's ready for that. So again, our wonderful sponsor, Hempful Farms and the Zonka Grow sponsored this beautiful resin. We also have some CBD for anyone who is a little bit nervous of the rosin. We have some gelato crystallate that should be good to smoke on. So we have that just for I don't know if I should be looking at you down there. I don't know.
What's that?
I'm teasing you. I'm
she's like
teasing you.
CBD.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
showing the CBD to you instead of the
we should
super
mix
high
it.
rosin. But then we also have the Undoo. So good thing is if anyone does get too
Have no fear.
too
Have no
stoned or
fear.
too medicated,
Undoo is here.
Undoo is
Yeah.
You should have like a super
That's
Yeah, it was something needs to be writing
Have
down.
no
Yeah.
fear. Undoo is here.
We like
Cape.
love
That's
it.
good.
Oh, I need a cape.
Yeah.
You gotta be man.
With my hat.
Undoo man. You
Undoo
definitely need an
man.
Undoo man. I
Yeah,
totally
okay.
with it.
Instagram and
Or an Undoo woman. Or an Undoo woman.
Undoo woman,
Or
superwoman.
even an Undoo family that teaches all the
Yeah,
different
the
ways to
cats.
You need to
Undoo.
borrow
Yes.
my kids for this? You can. They were dressed as Incredibles for Halloween. They're used to it. No,
If
just
I have to
kidding.
turn
Your
this
kids
car
are
around.
so cute.
We'll get somebody even older than us.
Oh, please. Is there people older than us?
Oh, there are. Oh, there are. My grandma, she's here and kicking, and she uses CBD.
Good.
Yes.
Throw a little THC. Make her a little happier.
I'm working on it. Wait till I
Yeah.
go visit.
Yeah,
Hi,
there
Graham.
you go.
We're gonna get
Well, I'll bring the Undoo in case she gets too medicated.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go to break. I think it's about that time. We're going to go to break. So when we come back, we will tell you all the goodness about these yummy things that we get to try out during break. We will let you know a little bit more about Undoo, for sure, a lot more about Undoo. And we have a sample pack here. This is our array for our guests anytime you're here, so have no fear, any guests that come on the Bud Show, because the Undoo is here and will help you drive home safely. We never want anyone to medicate and drive, so definitely something you guys like to talk about is being safe. So we'll talk about that, and we're super excited. The door in the background's beeping. I can only imagine who's coming in and out, so it'll be fun to see who's in the back to enjoy the break with us. And then we'll be back. If you have questions, maybe post them. We'll see if we can try and answer them. I know we're not always the best at that, but we'll try. And other than that, we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you so much from the Bud Show and the Bud Card, sponsored by Hemphill Farms also, and Support District Radio. Deuces.
Where they at? Started in the back where the shooters at. Start a backpack full of student snacks. We was in the trap like for you was at. We don't never slack. Where they do that at? Y'all was on the map. I was on the map trying not to take a nap. Like getting with the stack. You know where the money at, you can get it back. You either pushing or you snatch. Maybe rap, or you can stay up out the way, never in a rat. I'm always focused on the facts. Cause see the cycle, learn the world was bigger than the trap. Never had a label, I was independent. I'm talking in the streets, I'm talking in the kitchen. Feel like gotta get it for a better living. Nigga, we was down to take it, we ain't need permission. You ain't no general if you ain't in the trenches. Nigga never been a Dodger, still was nice and pitching. Started moving Bobby Brown, no new addition. Had some good advice, but nah, nigga never listen. Started in the back, yeah. Way back, yeah. Way back, yeah. Where they at? Where they at, yeah. Started in the back where the shooters at. Start a backpack full of student snacks. We was in the trap like for you was at. We don't never slack. Where they do that at? Started in the back, yeah. Back then when it couldn't rap, yeah. Hey, what them didn't that? Yeah. All the ones that said I never make a track, yeah. Track record on the black, yeah. Ricky Bobby with the stats on track, yeah. Talladega got the white up in the fast lane. Father like son, Earnhardt with the.
Have you been looking for that one-stop promotion solution? Check out TrinityProSolutions.com. 888-683-8810. Need promotional items like t-shirts, business cards, flyers? Call TrinityProSolutions.com at 888-683-8810. Need event planning, ideas for your corporate or nonprofit organization? Call TrinityProSolutions.com. 888-683-8810. Or follow us at Trinity_promo and on Facebook at Trinity Promotion Solutions. Again, TrinityProSolutions.com. 888-683-8810. Your one-stop shop for promotion solutions.
Tip first off, I'm the shit. I never say you short, no, I'm too legit. Shout out to MC Hammer, lesson learned, never quit. No matter what they say about you, stay on this shit. Shoot from any spot on the floor, bet I won't miss. Just like a satellite, I connect from a long distance. I bring something different to the game, just listen. Them other boys talk the same, just listen. Pursuing a hip-hop dream of being a living legend. I wanna see my mural on the wall, but not from heaven. I speak my heart and save the preaching for the reverend. They feed my voice with 2 at 11. I took shots like glory, but always stand up. They tried to hold me back, but I still came up. I'm confident, not cocky, tell them other dudes to man up. You feel the same, let me see you put your hands up. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot. First half is past, we going strong in the third. You heckle from the sideline on the under, flip the bird. In the gym, perfecting my game, never on the curb. When the clock stopped, I digitally weighed it back my herb. Scared men don't win and real men never lie. We just embellish a little, no arguing tonight. I don't need the stress, I gotta finish this rhyme. Some piece of rock and dope, itchy sleeps fine. Do best on the move, so
so I write while I drive. Didn't mean to ignore you, something big on my mind. I'm trying to turn these brainstorms into typhoons. Buy Papados, boss dinner with tycoons. You can't ignore me, I'm this shit, don't turn your nose up. Others approach, but in the end they always froze up. I'm confident, not cocky, tell them other dudes to man up. You feel that? Well, don't front, just put your hands up. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot. Crunch time, the championship is on the line. They're hanging on their shorts, I feel fine. My stamina is amazing, caught my second win. Ready to put the dagger in them last second win. Game changer, face rearranger. I see you feel me step in the booth and spit flames, bro. I came in the game correct to make them change up. Them dudes move funny like screwballs or change-ups. I never change up, just growing advanced. Treat every studio session like it's my last chance. To help you see me for what I'm trying to be. A living legend in and out the bank with no ID. Only a few know, but it's seen by a heap. Hip-hop runs in my veins and it's very deep. I'm confident, not cocky, tell them other dudes to man up. You feel the same, then put your motherfucking hands up. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot. I lead a winning team, no cheerleaders or mascots. All my girls supreme, no silicone ass shots. I'm living out my dreams and this is nowhere near the top. Final seconds, no fear, I take the last shot.
For you witnessing the first war of the 21st century, and there's universal approval of the statements I have made, and I'm confident there will be universal approval of the actions this government takes.
It's a war going on outside, but don't pay attention. Cause when you're real and pay attention, you gon' get involved. And then you find out religion wasn't for us all. They say the power's to the people and we want it all. They got us thinking like prison is a rite of passage. Now I'm an African king, but all they see is savage. Free my brothers on the yard, living life hard. I changed my name to Bilal so I could raise the bar. In America, the jungle, every day I rumble. White supremacy and entities, even when I'm humble. The devil's trying to kill me, but I know real revolutionary minds gon' feel me. Melanated showers, in these final hours, ain't no room for cowards. Black power, black power, black power. In these final hours, melanated showers, melanated showers. In these final hours, ain't no room for cowards. Black power, black power, black power. In these final hours, melanated showers. It's time to overthrow and got them like, whoa, Black Rob, I'm the new Nat Turner rolling with black gods, and we about to revolt and get off this plantation. We got the same enemy, but some of these brothers hating. It ain't no comfort with that foot on your neck. The strength is RBG and black power is the set. Red, black, and green, let me tell you what I seen. I seen a world so cold and mean, stay informed. We really riders like freedom fighters in the storm. How they kill another black man, turn into the norm. Headlines in the morning, they don't want that baby born, so they gon' make abortion easy. Sister, please believe me, we at war on all ends, so stay woke. Progression, not perfection, that's my quote unquote. I can't chill, G, the devil's trying to kill me, and I know real revolutionary minds gon' feel me. Melanated showers, in these final hours, ain't no room for cowards. Black power, black power, black power. In these final hours, melanated showers, melanated showers. In these final hours, ain't no room for cowards. Black power, black power, black power. In these final hours, melanated showers.
I pledge allegiance to the African flag, which represents black love, black unity, and black liberation. Black for the people in which I am proud to be a part. Red for the love of my people with my entire heart. And green for the black liberation. Once and for all, we will be free, spiritually, emotionally, and economically. Black power.
Inspired by the black fist. And what's this? A little motivation, gotta keep the spirit rich. Stay alive and have heart. It's really about survival. Don't end before you start. Stay up but not the high road. Black man, you a king. And a black woman, that's God. Anything other, that's I. One woman, one child. My life precise, I'm so proud. My passion screaming so loud. Black power, more power now. I know you're waiting for change. It won't be long, family, be patient, cause I did this for you. Stay connected across the globe. Motherland is the home. So you know I did this for you. I know you're waiting for change. It won't be long, family, be patient, cause I did this for you. Stay connected across the globe. Motherland is the home. Africa, you know I did this for you. Hey, say it loud and proud, RBG, melanated showers, melanated showers. Hey, final hours, ain't no room for cowards. Black power, black power, black power. On these final hours, melanated showers.
Yeah, constant circles running in my head. I can't believe all the lies I've been fed. Wondering, is it really you or me instead? Who's afraid to take the plunge and no longer be dead to these dreams? It seems I can't get you out my head, but the stronger you resist, the more I want you in my bed. You see, to me, you're such an inspiration. I can feel you from afar, breaks my concentration. Every word that you speak, yo, I be relating. I don't know how to get to you, but I say waiting. In my heart, yeah, it beats for you, it's penetrating. Then it stops at the thought of you of not staying. I'm saying, you got me open, I'm wounded. Wanting your attention, your intentions not congruent. I blew it, and I can't even laugh it off. I just let my heart bleed after all. Someone please call 911. Tell them I have been shot down. In my heart, head is piercing through my soul. Feel my body getting cold. Cold, this world is so cold. I feel so cold. I lose control of thought. Imagining best for me can only come with good thoughts. Good intentions I may set. Every door closed is an asset. My fears need to lay the rest bet. I believe I will see what's coming to me. If I intimidate, then you don't really know me. So show me what this is. Why I gotta lose my sleep over this? Why I gotta add you to this damn list? Why you gotta show up then you resist? Huh? I know there's really a purpose. Life has a way of making things work on purpose. Even though my heart really feels a little nervous, I'll just keep my head up until I reach the surface. Someone please call 911. Tell them I have been shot down. In my heart, head is piercing through my soul. Feel my body getting cold. Someone please call 911. Tell them I have been shot down. In my heart, head is piercing through my soul. Feel my body getting cold.
My advice to you would just be, you know what you've been through, you know the sacrifices that you made to get where you need to be at. You know that you're growing every day. You know that we're proud of you. You know that every single time you fall down, God smiles upon you and rise back up. So here it goes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing accusations. Tell me what's the reason. I'm all in with my chips, sprinting towards my freedom. Juking obstacles, I'm high-stepping demons. GBM, how I shine, the world can't defeat them. These are my many feats, and I got few successes. Tears sow the ground, and I reap my blessings. See, it's not my speed, that one's out of question. It's my relentless drive to cure my imperfections. And I am not you, never have, never will. I view your outcomes in Armageddon, conquer hills. Battleship with spirits, pieces are the souls. Hits in your best entrance, your opponent's your march to the top. And as the sun rise, they all watch. They need a leader. We choose you. Forever seek counsel, and you will never lose. Say it, this is my march to the top. And as the sun sets, they all watch. They need a leader. They choose me, and I'll keep my faith and gather up sheep. You do this for the almighty, terrible, unchanging, merciful, all-knowing, graceful, everlasting, powerful, never stop, continuous. I war upon the merciless, aim to hit and never miss, and when we reign it's endless. Our battle cry is hoo-ha, we represent Judah. Say it again, hoo-ha, like you mean it, Judah. And this ain't for the war players, lukewarm now and latest, pimp claiming suckers with your polyester suits and gators. I ask you how we rock it, you say we rock it well. Prayers move mountains, and God prevails. And every man was captured, bound within his cell. He walked inside the camp and posted blood and your march to the top. And as the sun rise, they all watch. They need a leader. We choose you. Forever seek counsel, and you will never lose. Say it, this is my march to the top. the sun sets, they all watch. They need a leader. They choose me, and I'll keep my faith and gather up sheep. This is your march to the top, and as the sun rise, they all watch. They need a leader. We choose you for every seat council, and you will never lose.
This one's for my lady friends, pushing that Beamer on Mercedes Benz. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for, yeah. You do what you want cause you know that you poppin'. You never commit, you're the type that's got plenty of options. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for. I was about to drop you like a line or two, until I noticed them designer shoes. Yeah, I don't think I could live up to the pressure of knowing that any rich guy in the city could probably impress you. Too suspect, can't trust that. Matter of fact though, since we on the subject, I could take a girlfriend with a bus pass and a mustache, you could trust that. Ooh, cause I got the juice right now, I'm getting loose right now. I'm on the move right now, ain't nothing you can do right now. Yeah, baby, I know how this goes. There will always be a man who can buy you better clothes. That's real, cause I know your type. I seen the door, you'll stay tonight, and then leave tomorrow. This was for my lady friends, pushing that Beamer on Mercedes Benz. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for, yeah. You do what you want cause you know that you poppin'. You never commit, you're the type that's got plenty of options. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for.
If I ain't give it off the way it feel like Johnny Gill, my pretty. High fashion, high class, I did it. Dr. Miami, Star Island did it. Got a mean swag, girl, you swag mean. You all that in the back sling. See, you see the money, you gon' hold out. You don't see the money, you don't roll out. That's ludicrous. A rich young like me ain't new to this. There's always somebody that got more than what you hope for. Your mama told you shop around the whole store, but you shopping for a man about a whole store. Lord, one thing you can't buy is ambition. They say it's more fish in a sea. Well, I'ma keep on fishing. I could've put you in a robbery, been my Benz Bugatti. You got a style they kill for. Murder Inc. got it. Yeah, it's so cold, and if you're digging for gold, baby, you got me. I cannot trust you to buy you a whip in my name, but I let you ride shawty like whoa.
This was for my lady friends, pushing that Beamer on Mercedes Benz. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for, yeah. You do what you want cause you know that you poppin'. You never commit, you're the type that's got plenty of options. You got a style they will kill for. You got a style they will kill for.
V-Day hits.
I beat it right now, I'm caught up in traffic. Is you riding with me or you gon' keep on acting? You riding on what? I beat it right now, I just let the block. Girl, keep it 100, you just wanna Now I was just playing, you just wanna talk. Tell me what's on your mind, what's on your heart. I just wanna know. Can't even explain why this is so hard. Cause you looking for love when you just lost. Love. These bums, they just want your box. They see the bums. They giving you nothing. You give them your all. They leave you with nothing.